반짝이는 눈빛 눈이 부셔 매일 날 감싸주는 손길.
Hyunsung, are you feeling better? Chae Woo Ri found Hyunsung lying on the grass and rushed over to help him up. Jin Soo Ji took a taxi to catch Jin Na-young, not even knowing that Hyunsung had fallen and was worried about him. Chae Woo Ri couldn't understand how Hyunsung, who was perfectly fine just a moment ago, suddenly ended up like that. He was worried that his surgical wound might have been seriously injured when it hit the ground. But when Hyunsung quickly opened his eyes and regained consciousness, Chae Woo Ri finally breathed a sigh of relief. However, he noticed a strange change in Hyunsung's eyes and asked him curiously if there was anything bothering him. He hasn't said a word since earlier, so he was concerned if something was bothering him or if any sudden memories had come back. He told him that he could honestly tell him about his condition because he was his brother. Chae Woo Ri wondered if Hyunsung had regained his memories after seeing him look depressed and sad after falling on the grass. He cautiously asked if he had recovered all his memories. Hyunsung considered telling his brother the truth about regaining all his memories, but he decided to continue pretending to have no recollection until he had sorted out all his thoughts. Therefore, he had no choice but to continue pretending along with Hanjinte and Kimari, who were still acting like a loving couple without knowing this fact. Kimari found it difficult to pretend to be affectionate with Hanjinte, whom she despised, and started expressing her annoyance little by little, saying that they should only act like a loving couple until Hyunsung regained his memory. She told Hanjinte not to misunderstand that she would accept him. She also hoped that Hyunsung would stop wandering around the hospital room. Because of Hyunsung's concern that their relationship might be strange, she felt obligated to be with him every time Hanjinte visited the room. Hanjinte wanted to visit Hyunsung several times a day to see if he was recovering well, but he understood Kimari's feelings and couldn't say anything, so he agreed. He also decided to refrain from visiting for a while. He felt sorry for making Hyunsung go through the trouble of pretending to be affectionate in front of him. Kimari sighed as she watched Hanjinte quickly apologize, and she started to doubt if all these acts were just pretense. She realized that the trust between them had completely shattered, even if Hanjinte wrote a letter in blood every week. Meanwhile, Hanjinte and Kimari were shocked to hear the news that Jin Na-young had lost consciousness and was taken to the hospital. They rushed to the emergency room and asked, "What happened? Jin Na-young gave birth at home and lost consciousness and was taken to the hospital? How is the baby's health?" Fortunately, Jin Soo Ji said that the baby was healthy, but Jin Na-young's condition was not good. She also shared the surprising news that she had acted as a midwife. Kimari held Jin Soo Ji's hand and said, "You did well. It could have been a big problem if it wasn't for you. Jin Na-young made a big mistake, but it was her fault as a mother, not the baby's fault. You must have suffered a lot while acting as a midwife. Now go inside and rest." Earlier, Hyunsung fell, and just now Jin Na-young gave birth, so both of you have been through a lot. Kimari worried about Jin Soo Ji and Chae Woo Ri, and the two of them replied that they understood and went home to finally have some rest. Chae Woo Ri held Jin Soo Ji's hand and said, "You went through a lot today, Soo Ji, but you made a good judgment in the critical moment, and that's why Hyunsung and the baby were saved. Even though the situation wasn't good for Jin Na-young, if it weren't for you, both Jin Na-young and the baby would have been in danger." Jin Soo Ji nodded as she listened to Chae Woo Ri's words and started comforting him, who had been taking care of her. They spent a sweet and romantic night together.
'Cause you are beautiful.